The Fargo Five. I'm Conrad Fargo. We're talking Fargo fun. We're here with Blaise Kautzman. See, I told you if I don't
Kautzman.
if I don't read it, then I forget it already. Hey, Blaise, how's it going?
Pretty swell.
We're gonna talk. So Fargo fun. We talk about fun things to do in Fargo. People all the time. Well, what's there to do in Fargo? Well, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
There's a ton of stuff. Fargo is an exciting place. It's got a ton of events. We're gonna talk about comedy at Proof by Funked Up Funktions, and you were just telling me, what's your relationship to Funked Up Function? Are you just
Funked Up Functions? That's just a promotional company, so they bring in different bands and things like that.
And they signed you?
It's not signed. I mean, they got us. I'm not like on a contract or anything like that.
But you're on their short list.
This week, this is the first time that we're ever doing a comedy show at Proof, actually.
Okay.
So it should be a pretty fun one. We have me, Dave Standel, and Josh DeLay. We do quite a few shows together in the area. Like, we've traveled to Bismarck and around in smaller towns, but this is the first time that we're doing a show that's not at the Cellar. Then we never want to try to go against the Cellar or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's a weekend. There's no comedy at the Cellar, so we got a show there. And then we actually have Aiden Mclusky, he's a national headliner.
Oh.
And he has been also touring with like I don't know if you know comics very well. Nick Mullins, Adam Fried. He's been on the Adam Friedland show. He's open for Sean Patton. There are all these big comics, and he's actually going to be headlining for us. So we got him coming in from Minneapolis.
Very cool. So do people travel for the comedians? Follow them around at all, or it's the draw, local draw? You think there'll be a lot of people coming out?
I think this one will be a pretty good local draw, just with the. I mean, I think we're moving tickets pretty well, but you always try to sell more if we can.
And why, how much are tickets generally?
I mean, these ones are $15. Usually you're going to be that's $15 to $20 for a show, which really isn't that bad. It'll be an hour and a half show.
I love comedy.
Yeah, there'll be drinks and things like that, so that you can go a little bit earlier. I think show starts at 8. We'll start at doors will open at 7 if you want to come earlier and get some seats.
Yeah, it's tough. We were just talking in the break how I have kids, so it's tough to get out of the house and do anything when you've got kids.
Yeah.
I wish to high heaven that there was a way to go watch comedy in the middle of the day. Yeah, that's never a thing. It's pretty much it's a late night with drinks thing, right?
Yeah, it depends. Depends when you're going. I mean, I'm booked on County Fair in July. That will be at 3 p.m. So but that's in Mott, North Dakota. So it just kind of depends.
Like, I would seriously make an effort to go to that because I love stand-up comedy.
Yep.
So like having a hard time with names off the top of my head, but like in my teenage years, I mean, my favorite thing to do would be turn on Comedy Central and watch the stand-up specials.
Yep.
Those were always my favorite.
Yeah, and
Mitch
now Comedy
Hedberg
Central is pretty much just South Park, The Office reruns.
Television has changed a lot.
Weird.
I mean, it really, because you're similar age, so you grew up with cable television where you would like make appointments with your television and you would watch things.
Yeah.
But now it kind of feels like, I don't know, it's just the same really low effort bad.
Yeah.
Like I haven't had cable for 15 years, but I stopped at a hotel. We were in a hotel and we turned it on and I was like, who is this for?
Yeah, it is weird. I think like FX seems to be like one thing on cable. It seems to be getting some, they have like the Fargo series and stuff. Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
That new one's on. So
have you watched the new season?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Have you been watching it?
No, not at all, but I'm really excited for it. What
it is. It has John Hamm in it, and I forget what the actress, the regular actress's name is, but yeah, that's a fun one. That actually has to do a lot with like North Dakota and Minnesota, but they're traveling like from Minneapolis to Beulah and back to Minneapolis in like a couple hours. Right? They really don't know the geography of North Dakota as much as people that live here.
Well, and it's kind of, and as a comedian and you do all that traveling, I mean, you get hours and hours and hours and hours to get from one place to another.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you put up with that? I mean, what do you do on your long trips?
Hang out with your idiot friends that are riding with you.
So you don't go alone.
Not most of the time. I mean, most of the time we're going to have 3 to 4 people on a show to cover an hour and a half, and then each of us will do openers do 15 to 20 minutes, and then we have headliner do say around half an hour to 40 minutes.
Okay. And so it's the same people, so it really is a very tight-knit community, I suppose.
I mean, it just kind of depends who's booking what show and who's on it, who can go with you.
And so one more time, this weekend, it's Saturday.
This weekend, Friday, we'll have the Comedy at Proof in Fargo.
Friday.
Nope, Saturday, we'll actually be in Bismarck doing a private gig for the National Guard. And
wow.
If anyone from Bismarck listens to this, too, we'll be at Laughing Sun on Sunday.
So Friday, you can get there as early as 7. You said the doors open at 7?
Doors open at 7.
Okay.
And then shows at 8 on Friday. $15 tickets.
Yeah.
So not going to break the pocketbook.
So how do we find it? Just go to Facebook? Is that the best place?
Facebook would be the easiest if you search for the event for Comedy at Proof.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you just Google Comedy at Proof Fargo, that actually has been pretty easy for people to find that and just click around for all events.
Do you guys record these at all and put them online, or is there anything?
Not for the most part.
Not for the most part.
I mean, sometimes you got to release some of your material to so that people come out to your shows, but I think one of the things is not to put too much of your material out so people come to see.
So they have a reason to come.
You don't want to release your material so that people already know your jokes when you go there.
Yeah. Although, the best ofs, right? And that's the problem when you get really big, is you want to do fresh material.
Well, they have most national headliners that have their hour specials and things like that tour with that hour, and then they just record that hour, and then they put that hour out. After that, so
that's got to be a whole other feel.
Yeah, I mean that's usually in 10 years before you make a special, or when you're worthy of a special.
Yeah, so another 8.5 years for you.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Fast.
All right, moving on into our next music break, we're gonna do Enzo with Drift Like a Cloud, Flow Like Water.
Ooh.
What I like about this one is it opens with some Alan Watts. Do you know who Alan Watts is? If young Conrad could see old Conrad, he would just point and laugh at him and make really disparaging remarks. But I have come to really appreciate some of his sophistry. So it's got that with the techno beat. So we're going to listen to that and then come back with frequently asked questions.
Awesome.
So don't go nowhere.